You keep repeating the same habits, even after you promise yourself this time will be different. What if you could change your results without relying on willpower all day? In this video, I'll share 6 psychology and neuroscience-backed subconscious switches that quietly drive your choices, and how to reprogram them so your default mode becomes focus, confidence, and follow-through. Research shows your brain runs a huge part of your day on autopilot. Fast, automatic processes that kick in before you decide anything. That's why you can genuinely want change and still end up doing the old thing. And the problem is, most people fight this with more motivation when the real lever is designing the autopilot itself. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot what your subconscious is running, interrupt it in real time, and install better defaults that make good choices feel almost automatic. Let's dive in. Alright, first, you need to understand the autopilot truth. Most people don't know this, but the biggest controller of your life isn't your motivation. It's your automatic behavior. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Think about how many times you've checked your phone without deciding, or opened the fridge without being hungry, or said yes to something you didn't even want to do. That's not you being weak. That's your brain running a shortcut. When you do something without thinking, checking your phone, snacking, snapping at someone, procrastinating, your brain is using learned programs. Scientists call this automaticity and habit-driven behavior, and it's not evil. It's actually your brain trying to help you. Your brain saves energy by reusing old patterns. It's like, if it had to carefully think through every tiny decision all day, you'd be exhausted by lunchtime. So it turns repeated actions into default scripts. Here's why that matters. A lot of daily actions are triggered by context, time, place, emotion, more than conscious choice. Some research suggests a large chunk of your day is initiated on autopilot, meaning the cue starts the behavior before you feel like you chose it. Source. Think of your brain like a phone. Your conscious mind is the screen. You see it, you control it. But your subconscious is the operating system running in the background, quietly, constantly. So here's what you do this week. Pick one repeated behavior you want to change. Just one. Doom scrolling, late night snacking, skipping workouts, overthinking at night, whatever. Then track it for 48 hours using one simple note. When I do this, right before it, I usually feel or see or hear this. And when you find the pattern, circle the most common trigger. Is it time, like 10 p.m.? Is it location, like your bed? Is it emotion, like stress? Is it people, like certain conversations? And don't judge it. Treat it like data, because the biggest mistake is trying to fix everything at once. You're not lazy. You're running a script. But that's not all, because once you know the trigger, you can hijack the script. Which brings us to the habit loop. Now here's where it gets interesting. Your habit isn't one action, it's a loop, and that loop has an entry point you can edit. A habit loop is simple. There's a cue, something that triggers the behavior. There's the routine, the behavior itself. And there's the reward, the payoff your brain gets from doing it. And your subconscious doesn't care if the routine is good. It only cares if the routine reliably gives the reward. Relief, comfort, distraction, a little hit of pleasure, a break from stress. That's what your brain is chasing. And this matters because habit research suggests repeated behaviors become more automated in the brain over time. MIT researcher Anne Graybiel has described how habits can become chunked into automatic routines involving brain circuits in the basal ganglia. Source. Translation. The more you repeat something, the more your brain turns it into a one-tap button. That's why sometimes you feel like you're watching yourself do the habit. So how do you use this? First, identify the reward. Ask yourself, What am I really getting here? If you scroll, is it entertainment or relief from anxiety? If you snack, is it hunger or comfort? If you procrastinate, is it laziness or fear of failing? Second, and this is the secret, keep the cue and the reward, but swap the routine, because if you rip out the routine without replacing the reward, your subconscious fights you. Third, make the new routine smaller than you think. If the cue is stress at 3 p.m. and the reward is relief, don't try to replace scrolling with an intense 1-hour workout. Your brain will reject that. Instead, swap it with something that still gives relief, fast, a 60-second walk, cold water, 10 deep breaths, a quick stretch, something that tells your nervous system, we're safe. And avoid this common mistake. Don't choose a replacement that feels like punishment. If the new routine doesn't deliver a reward, your subconscious won't adopt it. But wait, there's more to this. Because you can actually pre-program your brain so the new routine fires automatically, and it's shockingly simple. It's called the if-then switch. This next one is crucial because in the moment your conscious brain is slow. Temptation is fast. Stress is fast. Old habits are fast. So you need a plan that fires faster than your excuses. An implementation intention is just an if-then plan. If X happens, then I will do Y. That's it. It connects a trigger to a response ahead of time. So when the trigger shows up, your brain doesn't debate. It executes. Psychologist Peter Gollwitzer's research on implementation intentions shows that specific if-then plans help people translate goals into actions more reliably than vague intentions. Source: this works because your brain loves clarity. The cue becomes a doorway, and your planned action becomes the default path through it. Think of it like laying train tracks before the train arrives. So here's how you do it. Pick one predictable trigger. If it's 7:30 a.m., if I feel the urge to scroll in bed, if I get home and feel drained, then pick a tiny action. Then I will put my phone across the room and drink water. Then I will open my notes app and type one sentence from my project. Then I will change into workout clothes for 2 minutes. And here's a powerful upgrade. Write 3 if-then plans for the same goal. One for time, one for emotion, one for environment. Then rehearse them once per day for 10 seconds. I know that sounds almost too easy, but you're training your brain to recall the plan under pressure. And avoid this mistake. Don't make the then part huge. If it's hard, your brain won't execute it when you're stressed. Now you might be thinking, okay, but why do I sabotage myself even when I know better? Perfect. Because the next subconscious switch explains exactly that. Your brain doesn't just react to reality. It predicts reality. Most people don't know this, but your subconscious is a prediction machine. It's constantly guessing what's about to happen, based on your past. And then it nudges you toward what feels familiar and safe, even if familiar is bad for you. If you've failed before, your subconscious might predict failure again and push you to avoid effort so you don't get disappointed. That's why you can have a goal you truly want and still feel resistance the moment you start. In neuroscience, predictive processing is a major idea. The brain generates predictions about incoming information and updates when predictions are wrong. Source: so when you say, I just have a bad feeling about this, sometimes that bad feeling is just an old model, old data, outdated expectations. Think of it like GPS using an outdated map. It keeps rerouting you back to the same streets because that's what it knows. So how do you work with this? First, catch the prediction phrase, this won't work. I'm not that type of person. I always quit. I'll start Monday. Second, label it. Say that's a prediction, not a fact. Pause. Third, run a micro test. 2 minutes, not an hour, 2 minutes. Because your subconscious OS learns through evidence, not motivational speeches. And fourth, Record the win immediately. Not, "I changed my life." Just, "I showed up for 2 minutes." That's how you update your brain's predictions. And here's the best part. You can make those predictions easier to update by changing one more thing. Your environment. Because your environment is basically a remote control for your subconscious. This next one is powerful because your subconscious is extremely sensitive to what's easy, visible, and nearby. Your environment is a silent scriptwriter. It tells you what to do next through cues. If your phone is on your pillow, your subconscious votes for scrolling. If your shoes are by the door, it votes for a walk. If snacks are visible, it votes for snacking. If your journal is open on the desk, it votes for journaling. This connects to a popular idea in psychology: fast, automatic thinking versus slower, deliberate thinking. Automatic systems respond quickly to cues. Deliberate thinking takes effort. Source. So if your environment is full of loud temptation cues, your automatic system wins before your deliberate system even boots up. So here's what you do. Remove one high-friction temptation cue, put distracting apps in a folder, sign out, charge your phone outside the bedroom, put junk food on the highest shelf, whatever your version is. Then add one low-friction good cue. Put a book on your pillow, put a water bottle on your desk, put workout clothes where you'll trip over them, and use the one-room rule. Assign one place to one behavior. Bed equals sleep. Desk equals work. Couch equals relax. And do a 5-minute Sunday reset where you put cues back into position. The mistake is trying to resist cues all day. That's like trying not to blink. Design the room instead. Now, you might be thinking, "Okay, but sometimes I'm not even tempted. I'm just stuck in my head." Yes, and that's the final subconscious switch. Because even when you're doing nothing, your brain is still doing something. Your mind-wandering system runs your inner movie. And if that movie is stressful, your subconscious choices get worse. When you're not focused on a task, your brain activates networks linked with mind-wandering, replaying the past, simulating the future, comparing yourself to others. This can become your default inner environment, and that inner environment shapes your mood and decisions. Research describes the default mode network as associated with mind-wandering and task-unrelated thought. Source. So if your mind-wandering loops negative predictions, your subconscious steers you toward quick relief, scrolling, snacking, avoidance, numbing out. Not because you're broken, because your brain is trying to reduce discomfort fast. So how do you use this? First, schedule intentional wandering for 5 minutes. Literally set a timer. Write your worries down. You're giving your brain a container so it doesn't leak all day. Second, use a physical anchor when you drift. Feel your feet on the floor. Name 3 things you can see. This pulls your attention back to the present. Third, insert a tiny action immediately after. 1 email, 1 push-up, 1 page, something that turns your brain from inner movie to forward movement. And fourth, create a reset phrase you'll use every time. Back to now, pause, and avoid this mistake. Don't try to force your mind quiet. Redirect it like you gently redirect a puppy. All right, let's bring it all together. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Number 1, your autopilot runs your day. Number 2, change the cue loop, not your willpower. Number 3, use if-then plans to auto-execute. Number 4, treat fear as a prediction, not fate. Number 5, design your environment to win. Number 6, redirect mind-wandering before it hijacks you. Remember, transformation isn't you becoming a different person overnight. It's you changing what happens by default. You have everything you need to build a subconscious that supports you, quietly, consistently, every day. And the only difference between your current patterns and your future results is the system you practice when nobody's watching. Don't wait until you're burned out or another month disappears. Start with just one if-then plan today. and move one cue in your room. I promise you, a week from now, you'll thank yourself. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more science-backed self-improvement content, and drop a comment telling me, what's one habit you feel like you do on autopilot? And if you want to learn how to break a bad habit without relying on motivation, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.